this is a very special day for me because this is probably one of my favorite cars in the world. My first car was actually a Giulia, and I will never forget that car. But for this to be a proper Alfa Romeo, it needs to have some flaws, and believe me, this has one or two. But they're forgettable flaws. So for example, the wheels look like they just came off of a bicycle. They're tiny, and if you go to put some gas, well, the nozzle is not going to go all the way in, and it's going to be kind of annoying. But those characteristics make this car good, because for a car to be good and for you to form a bond with a car, it needs to have a personality. And for a car to have a personality, it needs to have some human flaws, and it does. But when you start to understand what this car really is and how it compensates for those flaws, you start understanding why those flaws really do not matter that much. This is a properly good Alfa Romeo. For once, they have done it. You know, Alfa Romeo in the past has always had flaws, but has never had the positive points to compensate for those flaws. But that changes with this car. They made a car to beat the German competition. They made a car that beats the M3, that beats the C63, and that makes you feel so much better driving it. This car is truly a beast. You have about 503 Italian horsepower, Italian stallions that push you forward. I believe it's about 80 more than the M3 has, and you do it in such a stylish way with the back pulling out a bit. It's such a beautiful car. This is obviously a rear-wheel drive car, but you have direct steering. You have this instantaneous gear shifts. Oh my god, this is a good car. Whew. Obviously, you need to have the courage to drive this to its potential. You need to have the courage to push it to its limits, because this is not an easy car to drive, especially on a wet surface like today. That back will slide right and left, but it's okay, because this car is amazing. What you're buying here is an engine that we're gonna get to in a minute. But although Ferrari is really emphasizing the point that this is not the engine from a Ferrari California with 2 cylinders chopped off, but it is. This engine is phenomenal. Although this is a turbocharged V6, the turbo is built in the 90 degree in the middle of the engine, which means that you get no turbo lag up to the top of your revs. It will rev till the top, and you will have power constantly throughout your revs. Jesus. This is a car, however, that slides a lot, and you're gonna wanna try to tame this monster. But what's cool about this car is if you pop it back into the normal mode, it's just a normal car. It's like you're driving a Honda Civic or a Ford Focus, and you would never know that this car has the power that it has. But it has so much torque, so much power, and it's incredibly light. This car has more carbon fiber than I've ever seen on any car. It has a carbon fiber bonnet. It has carbon fiber accents around the vehicle, carbon fiber all over the interior. It has carbon fiber everywhere. It has a carbon fiber wing in the back. Everything is carbon fiber because Alfa Romeo wanted to reduce the weight of this vehicle to make the handling better and to make it so much quicker than the M3s and the C63s, which it does. Everybody has that. I've driven all those cars, and don't just take my word for it. Everybody that has driven those cars admits that this car is just such a better car than those cars are. It just is. For me, this is the best car you could get right now. The power is just continuous. It's crazy how you're at 4,000, 4,500 RPM and you have your foot down and it just keeps climbing. For a turbo car, for a turbo engine, for a turbo V6, that is incredible. Which I would thank Ferrari for, but they are very keen in saying this is not their engine. So you know what? Thank you Alfa Romeo for developing this apparently. I really love this car. The car just feels so perfect. When you're driving it every day, it's smooth, it's good on gas. You have a great infotainment, easy to use. You have luxury, you have these comfortable seats. And then when you pop it into dynamic or into race, you have literally a monster under your right foot. It's crazy. It's crazy what this is. This is probably the only car that I've driven, and by the end of filming it, I literally want to go to the dealership and buy it. And that's never happened to me before. And I've driven a lot of cars, but this is the only one that I want to have. I asked, when I went to the dealership, I asked them how much this would cost me because I want this vehicle. And this vehicle is actually for sale if you guys want to beat me to it at John Scotty Alfa Romeo in Montreal. They lent us this vehicle and we thank them for that because this is probably one of the best experiences I'll ever have. This is literally a Ferrari with 4 doors. It is incredible what they have done, and honestly, if you have the chance to purchase this vehicle, please do it because we need more cars like this. We need to help Alfa Romeo and we need to show them that we appreciate what they're doing because this is truly incredible. All in all, this is an incredible vehicle. You know, there was never an Alfa up to now that people wanted to own. They were always beautiful cars, but they would never function properly. There was always something wrong with it that would make you hesitate buying it. And Alfa Romeo had a hard time proving themselves when they decided to come back to North America. They had to make a vehicle that would express and demonstrate that they are back and they are serious about being an important car maker that can compete with Mercedes and BMW, and this car just proves that they have done that properly. I've owned the Giulia, not the Quadrifoglio model, but I've owned the Giulia, I've owned the Stelvio. I've never had a problem with any of them, and there is no other car right now from that price range that can compete with it. I'm sorry, but I am truly in love with Alfa Romeo. Anyways, thank you everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Once again, thank you to John Scotty Alfa Romeo for lending us this car. And if you did enjoy this video, please like, subscribe, and comment. Let us know what you think about the Alfa Romeo and if you think it deserves the #1 spot between the M3 and the C63. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and see you soon.